Get ready, Central Georgia.
This is Alex Habersham, publisher of the Macon, Middle Georgia Black Pages. I'm happy to inform the community, particularly business owners, that we're working on a new edition of the Macon, Middle Georgia Black Pages and Resource Guide.
Coming soon.
Unfortunately, in the world today, there is too strong of a belief in fantasy. Unfortunately, in the world today, there are too many avenues wherein erroneous information can be circulated and disseminated. Unfortunately, in the world today, it seems that people are less apt or inclined to do their research before accepting something as truth. Unfortunately, in the world today, the phrase and the concept of alternative truth and alternative reality are very, very prevalent. Consequently, you know, many of us in many situations are suffering, and are being denied because of our belief in fantasy and not being willing to research and develop our opinions on reality. I hate to tell you, but that's true for COVID, the COVID vaccine, uh, whether it'll kill you, whether it was developed too quickly, uh, whether if you take it, you'll grow a tail. And so I'm so happy that we have Miss Joan Whitehead, who's the president of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, here with us on a call to action. Incidentally, this is a call to action talk show, and I'm your host, Alex Habersham, and we'll be interviewing Miss Joan Whitehead, who's the president of Delta, who's going to talk about, their efforts to try to disseminate some truth and truthful and accurate information as it relates to COVID and the vaccine. How you doing, Miss Joan?
I am doing well, thank you. And
Yeah.
it's good to be here with you. My name is Joan Whitehead. I am the current president of the Macon Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
So, I mean, you all do a lot of initiatives. So, just talk a little generally, if you would. And I know this is just one of several projects, but just give us a quick overview of Delta and its community initiatives.
Well, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, we are one of over 1,000 chapters in the southern region of the United States. And we have 174 members of the 200,000 members that are in the United States and in Germany, Japan, the Bahamas, Korea, lots of foreign countries. But we have a 5-point programmatic thrust that addresses educational development, economic development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, and political awareness and involvement. And in these current times, right now we have two projects that are in the mix. One of our projects is Women's Heart Health Month, that we are partnering with other women's organizations in the Middle Georgia area. We are hosting a Women's Heart Health Seminar on February 27th to provide information about women and heart disease. In the process of preparing for this seminar on the 27th, I learned that 1 in 3 women are diagnosed annually with heart disease. 50% of the African American women who are dying right now are dying of heart disease. For the last year, we have been confronted with COVID-19. We have masked up, we have social distanced, we have sheltered in place as much as we can. Our children have missed practically a year of school because of school at home. Many folks who are able to are working at home, all because of this virus, COVID-19. It has killed over 400,000 people, but now there has been a vaccine developed. I think we are up to 3 companies who have been given permission to release that vaccine. In our community, we hear that people are resistant or reluctant to getting the vaccine. Personally, I am going to run as soon as they tell me I can come and get mine. Oftentimes, African Americans are underrepresented in medical trials or whatever. But at this point, only 5%, 5.4% of African Americans have received their COVID vaccination for several reasons. Some of it having to do with the Tuskegee experiment back in the day. Folks are reluctant to getting a vaccine. They said that it was developed too quickly. But if you do the research about its development, they've been working. The coronavirus is not new. The coronavirus 19 was a new virus, but scientists have been working on vaccines for a long time. There was an African American woman who was one of the scientists who was initially involved in the creation of it. So I think education is power, knowledge is power. And so we have to use the knowledge that we have to do the best thing for us. And if it is killing us at the rate that the CDC has announced that African Americans are dying, that is even more of a reason for us to get that vaccine and run and get in line when they say that it is our turn. Because African Americans are dying at twice the rate of white Americans, we need to make sure that African Americans are informed so that they can make the right decision and so that they can get in line and get this vaccine, get the shot in their arm as quickly as possible. On the 23rd of February, we will be hosting a panel of experts on a Zoom webinar to discuss and to answer questions that people might have about the vaccines that are currently available.
First of all, I want to congratulate your chapter for assuming this initiative because it's very, very important. Just to plug in a little more information as it relates to that, I have received information that even some of the, and then I don't understand it. Maybe you can help me because your brain is younger. Uh, I don't really understand, the phenomenon as it relates to that, and because it's my understanding that even some hospital workers, I've talked to an administrator, who said that he's having extreme difficulty, hospital administrator, getting his workers in the hospital. They see people dying.
Right.
And that has not, I mean, the other thing I want to say very quickly, Joan, is that, sometimes we accentuate the negative. If what, there is danger in taking aspirin.
Everything. That's right. That's exactly right.
So I mean, but it's very minuscule. And I think that the same is true for the vaccine. But for some reason, and I'm glad and I'm saying this because I want to tie it into the webinar that you all are doing. There's some danger in everything, but it has to be done on percentages and research. And then people are really dying. People are really dying because of their refusal. And then for, all of us who love our community, who love our relatives, need to kind of join this effort and dispel those myths
That's right.
that you all are doing. So I'm glad. And then the other thing, and I'll let you talk some more about you calling it a webinar.
It is a forum, but it is done as a Zoom webinar so that
Okay.
we can reach the greatest number of people.
And that can be interaction where people can ask.
Yes, right. We have a forum. The panelists on the forum for that evening, we have Commander Andrew Gentles and his wife, Lieutenant Commander Carlicia Gentles. Uh, Commander Gentles is the Senior Health Management Officer for the Food and Drug Administration.
Wow.
His wife, Lieutenant Commander Carlicia Gentles, is the Risk Management Analyst for the Food and Drug Administration. We have Commander Valerie Marshall, who is the Senior Public Health Advisor at the Food and Drug Administration in the Office of Vaccines Research and Review. So we've got some heavy hitters who are going to be there to answer questions and provide information. Commander Marshall focuses on the development of COVID-19 vaccines, and she also works with domestic and international vaccine policy and regulatory review for investigational vaccines. So we've got some really heavy hitters. We also have Dr. George Eric Harrison, who is the Chief Medical Officer of Fairview Park Hospital out of Dublin, Georgia. We have Dr. Erin Watson, who is a family and emergency medicine physician out of Memphis, Tennessee. And we have our own chapter members, Dr. Monique Davis Smith, and she serves her practice is the family medicine at Navicent's Family Health Center here in Macon. We also have Dr. Zandretta Tim Cooks, who is an associate professional of medicine at Wellstar Atlanta Medical Center. She recently established a private infectious diseases practice serving hospitals in the Southwest Atlanta community. And we have Mrs. Jaleesa Jordan, who is the Deputy Director of Operations for Environmental Health for the Georgia Department of Public Health's North Central Health District. So we've got lots of experts who will be on the panel, who will be there to provide information and to answer questions. And hopefully the information that will be dispelled will relieve everybody's mind so that as soon as the vaccine is available for all of us, we will run and get in line and get it in our arms so that we can reach some kind of normalcy again. Because until this happens, we will still be masked up and social distancing and keeping to ourselves. And I know that it's been almost a year or I think March 17th, we will have been dealing with this for a year, because it was March 17th last year when schools shut down and lots of businesses shut down. And it has impacted us, it has impacted the kids and their education in that they have lost almost a whole year of no FaceTime instruction with their teachers. And although our teachers, our educators have done a very good job trying to provide virtually the instruction that students would get, but nothing beats that face-to-face interaction with between teachers and children. So we really need to go back to that. Economically, we've been impacted. So a lot of our small businesses have had to close their doors because of the impact of the COVID-19 virus. And so all of us are looking forward to having some sort of normalcy again. And until we get, I think they say it has to be like 70 to 80% of the people in the country will have had to have been vaccinated in order for us to get to the point of that herd immunity that we can begin to ease up on the mask and the social distancing. But at this rate, we will be wearing the mask and we'll be social distancing for a long time to come.
But that's real outstanding. And we, although you're the president of Delta, talk just a little bit, maybe for a minute, about your background and what did you do? You know, it seems like you got some teacher in you with the way you were making that presentation.
I retired from Bibb County in July 1st of 2019. After 34 years, I spent 19 years in the classroom. The remaining 15 years I spent in administrative roles in at an elementary school, as well as I spent the last 9 years at the Bibb County Board of Education Central Office as the RTI MTSS coordinator. RTI is response to intervention and MTSS is multi-tiered systems of support. And in that role, my job was to ensure that students who were struggling for whatever reason, academically or behaviorally, would receive the support that they needed in order to be successful. Since I retired, I have been working as the executive director for Student Support Team Association for Georgia Educators. And it continues the work of RTI and MTSS. We have 2 conferences a year, one in the fall, one in the winter. During these conferences, we offer professional development for schools and districts all over the state of Georgia.
Very good. Very good. Okay, let's talk a little bit, and congratulations on such a storied career. Uh, let's talk a little bit more about it. And then let me reemphasize something you said as it relates to the level of professionals, you know, and then I'm going to just say it like I would if I were still in Tender Heights. Okay. If all these folk with all these degrees and all this training are going to get on a webinar and publicly endorse, you know, the vaccine and taking the vaccine, then who am I, you know, with just a little training in the language to say that I know better than they do? Now let me draw an analogy for you. I went to a physician, my doctor yesterday, who's working in a community, and they doing an initiative in that community. And he suggested, said, well, let's do this. Then let's bring in information about, you know, taking the vaccine as a part of the program for this community activity.
Mm.
He said he got phenomenal pushback. Now, guess what? Watch me, Joan. He is, I mean, he got 3 or 4 medical degrees.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And he's telling, you know, gonna bring it to the group that they should take it. And here these folk, you know, like me, who don't begin to know anything about medicine, say no, no, no. So, I mean, my point is, how can we question science, knowledge, training, and education? And I'm not fussing at anybody. I'm just saying, let's use our heads and let's not be influenced by the naysayers. Let's not be influenced by people who are just trying to get attention and get likes.
Right.
This
That
ain't
is
got
exactly
nothing to do
right.
with likes. This got to do with life and living. So I've had my first vaccine since I'm old enough, you know, and I'm looking, waiting anxiously to get my next one. And I'm hopeful that as a result of Miss Joan Whitehead with her vast experience and with my lack of knowledge, but my belief in being educated, and with all the information that all of these professionals are going to bring to us, I'm very, very hopeful that those of you who have some doubt, and it's okay to doubt, it's okay to question, but the thing is to have an open mind, and base your actions and your belief on accurate information from
That's
people
right.
who
That's
know and people who have been trained. So talk a little bit about the mechanics of the seminar. You might want to go briefly over, generally the kind of professionals that are going to be there and how to participate.
Well, to participate, the webinar and the Zoom link is actually out there. Well, it will be out there within the next 24 to 48 hours on our public Facebook page with the link to register. During this seminar, which is done in the format of a Zoom webinar, we will have physicians, public health professionals, and people who have worked in vaccine development to provide information and to answer any questions that people might have. Just recently, I've spoken with several of my friends who work in the medical profession and who are on the front line, and I asked when the vaccine was first released if they were going to take it, and one of my friends who works at a hospital facility in Tennessee says that from having seen what COVID-19 does and having seen so many people die from this virus, because she's seen what it does to you, the risk of taking the vaccine is nothing in compared to what the disease will do to you. It will kill you. And I have I've got lots of life left, I hope. And I want to be here I want to be here and be healthy for the remaining days that I have, however many there are, hopefully till about 100. But it just does not make any sense for us as a people to have an opportunity to get vaccinated and choose not to. It's like the folks the guy who was on the roof and was saying he had prayed for to be rescued, and all kinds of things had come his way to rescue him, and he chose not to do it. For us to not take advantage of this vaccine when it is available for us to hopefully save our lives and the lives of our loved ones. In light of lots of us have lost loved ones during this pandemic, but hope is on the way. Help is on the way. Let's get this shot in our arm as soon as it is made available for us.
Okay, well, that's very, very important. And give how a person can give the information as it relates to where they can go to get registered, because registration is required, right?
Registration is required. There will be a link. I will send you the link, Mr. Habersham, so you can put it out there on the Black pages.
I'll
So
do
that,
that. We're gonna be doing a blast on it. So
Mhm.
that
But
blast
we have not, the link has not been created yet. There will be a flyer. The flyer will be everywhere. It will be on our public Facebook page, our Instagram page. What is it? What is the other one? Uh, I'm old and I do a little social media, but we do have a social media expert within our chapter who makes sure that all this kind of information is published on every social media outlet that is available to us.
Well, thank you very much, and congratulate your chapter and Miss McFadden. And
Yes, Nola McFadden is our social action chairperson, and she has been instrumental in in uh, in a lot of things that we've done this year. She was She was instrumental in all the publicity that we had out there, the billboards and the public service announcements to get folks out to vote during the runoff election on January 5th. She and her committee have really been working. We talked last night. We have worked more and have done more during a pandemic in a virtual environment than we were able to do when we were just running wild and free. So I do want to congratulate Ms. Nola McFadden and her committee for all this great work that our chapter has done under their coordination.
Well, I understand that. Again, congratulations to you. Again, I'm going to give, you can go to www.makingBlackPages.com, or you can call the Black Pages office at 478-464-0074, and we'll have more information for you as it relates to that. And we'll have that on our website. We'll have it on YouTube. We'll have it all over. So you'll be able to find out what the link is to it. Again, Ms. Whitehead, Joan, I want to congratulate you. I appreciate everything that you and the Deltas are doing, and I'm sure that it's going to be mighty successful, and I'm going to encourage everybody to go ahead and register for it. And then you need to be an ambassador also. Joan Whitehead doesn't need to be the only ambassador in our community, trying to educate the community and get people to take the vaccine, because it affects all of us.
It does.
And then all of us are having mental, not mental, but maybe mental, psychological, and emotional problems. Some of us don't even know it, but we are, because of the difference. So we want to get back to normalcy.
Right.
Vaccine is a way to do it, and get the information and then take the vaccine. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed Ms. Joan Whitehead, who's the president of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and they're going to do this webinar, Zoom webinar, on why you should take the vaccine and address all the problems that you think you got with it, because it's safe and we all ought to take it. Have a great day.
Get ready, Central Georgia.
This is Alex Habersham, publisher of the Macon, Middle Georgia Black Pages. I'm happy to inform the community, particularly business owners, that we're working on a new edition of the Macon, Middle Georgia Black Pages and Resource Guide.
Coming soon.
So call today. You need to be a part of this.
Your resource guide to identify Black-owned businesses throughout Central Georgia.
You either get your free listing and or your ad in the upcoming edition.
We try to make it very easy through our book, electronic and digital formats, and social media. Reserve your ad space today.
Call 478-464-0074.
Visit our website at makingBlackPages.com.
You cannot afford not to advertise.
Download the app.
The new Macon, Middle Georgia Black Pages and Resource Guide is on the way.
Coming soon.